All right, here we go. We have one of the most legendary producers in Toronto, by the way, Kato. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. And you, brother? What's going on?
I'm doing all right, man. Like a legendary like body of like work, by the way, just I think just with you right now, you're probably like one of like the biggest like producers like right now in Toronto that's very versatile to working with like a lot of people like in that sense
Appreciate
too. And the numbers like even like speak for yourself too, like right now probably like one of the biggest produced songs like out of your entire catalog.
Yeah,
Your work with like Young Tory, with Mike Jones, Drop It, with Jazz, like as I said, like right now, Sex Machina, VVS, Houdini, Options, and then Chromas, like with her other song too, and then also with your other tracks too. Like I'm just like looking at the numbers right now, like touring, it's almost at 810 like 810,000 like right now on Spotify. Like a lot of the songs from like the Facelift project, they're gaining like 13K to like 35K like views in that sense too. Not My Friends, like almost like 120 like thousand as well too, as well as like Alter Ego, and it's like crazy like in that sense. And like the numbers and body speak for itself in that sense.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, man.
It's super dope. Like I'm excited. I'm even happy that like all the numbers are going up and just like organic. To be honest with you, like everything's
Yeah,
organic, and you feel
yeah,
me? So it's a
yeah,
blessing.
yeah, most definitely. I know like with a lot of producers like usually in Toronto, like usually like they're not as like crazy to making like a lot of like beat tapes and a lot of projects, or even like getting on the rapping side too. But like with you, you're very like open with it. You dropped like 3 projects with I'm Mad,
Mm-hmm.
Facelift, and then you re-released like another project. I think let me just get that right there. Like you just dropped it recently too. I'm just trying to like find it. Rebirth.
Rebirth
So it's
project?
like,
Yeah, rebirth. Yeah,
yeah, man. And I've been watching like the interviews like as well too. Like in the past, you're very like open and creative, like in like communicating. With the Push the Wall interview, with the
yeah.
studio vlog, with the Drew York show. It's You have a very unique presence, like when it comes to your character as well too. And I want to really get into that for a bit.
Appreciate that. Yeah, to be
Yeah,
on
man.
myself.
No doubt, man. So I want to start it off right here. So you grew up in the St. Clair West area in Toronto, right?
Yeah,
All right. So like you were also like born around that area too, right?
yeah. Or like
True,
Lansdowne, Blowish area. Like
true,
that's kind of
true,
around.
true. So growing up in that area, like what was it like for you growing up? Would you say you had like a good childhood back then, or would you say it was like very different?
Yeah, everything was good, man. Growing up in that area was blessed. I'm from like my parents are from St. Lucia, right? So it's like, we have that culture going on. And like growing up in like St. Clair area is primarily like European people and like obviously white people. So it's like I feel as if I got the best of both worlds culture wise, what I'm trying to say? And it
Yeah,
ran me to who I am today. Like I just feel as if like growing up there was a blessing, because I'm just like around so many different people growing up. So that was it.
yeah, most definitely. And I know like
Mhm.
in the Push the Wall interview, you talked about, going to school in like Morocco. So like in Bishop Morocco,
Yeah.
just by like Dundas
I
West
was, uh,
Station. So tell me like
yeah.
more about those days, going to school like around there and just, having fun like around that time.
No, it was dope. To be honest, I could when I went to elementary school, I was mostly around like European, like I said, because I was at like a school where just like mostly white people, mostly European people. So when I went to Bishop Morocco, it was like a taste of like even new cultures around. I'm trying to say? Because like I met more black people. Like when I went to elementary school, it was like maybe like 5 black people. You know what I'm trying to say? So I went there. There's more Asian people. There's more community. There's more culture. So it's just like everything is kind of like it was a blessing to be honest with you. And like also the school was like an art school, right? So it kind of shaped me to be who I am today even more because like they had the studio there and they had all types of like things that I could work on and just be better in my crafts and stuff. You know what I mean? To prepare me.
Yeah, nah, most
They
definitely,
had a whole
Yeah,
studio. They had a whole studio there, and then like they had even a class, like a beat making class, and all that type of stuff over there too. So just like to be in the presence of that early, it was dope to be a part of that.
yeah. Nah, most definitely, man. And even within that specific area, like it's like also close to like Pelham Park, like the St. Clair West area. You had like a
Yeah,
lot of like unique artists that come around there, like Sheffy, Smiley, who's probably like the biggest like right now with OVO,
yeah.
Black of the Dawn, and just with a whole lot of other acts like even around that area too. So
Mhm.
just like even in that specific area, was it well known like as an industry and for music like at that time, or just as like a specific like community like for music?
I feel as if, I mean, I can't really speak on that. I think it was the community, but also like everybody doing music in the area was already popping, doing their thing. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like they were getting the recognition. Like I remember even in high school, I remember seeing Smiley. We go to the parties in high school. They're playing Smiley before Smiley blew up. You know what I'm trying to say? They're playing Blocko, they're playing Chevy before everybody blew up. So it's like, I don't
Yeah.
know, like maybe it was industry in terms of like the people were seeing like that, but it's also community as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, around that time, like Nine on Me, like around like that 2015 time, like that was kind of like the biggest song. Like at
Yeah.
that time around those ends. So like I remembered, I was even like rewatching like the video a while back. Like Nine on Me was like popping like everywhere and all that. Like I think with that Chief Keef like drill flow, like
Yeah. Nah,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. Long live HB. I went to school like with Smiley, bro, and it's like, bro, you play that record in high school, you play that everywhere you go. You heard Night on Me, you heard all the Smiley record before, So it's just like it was a blessing to even be a part of that too.
yeah, nah, most definitely, man. But just getting into your like story for a bit too. What was like your first introduction to music growing up in that sense?
I mean, I've been doing music almost like my whole life. But my dad was like a DJ, but like he was like a soca DJ, like reggae, soca in the early stages. So I've always been around music. If you even see like pictures of me as a kid, you can see like my dad DJing and he's holding me and shit, right? Like he's holding me and he's doing the little DJ shit. So it's like music's been a part of my life, like part of my whole life. You know what I mean? Even when I was younger, I was like on the internet trying to make what's it called? Beat beat making games. Like I was trying to do the sequencer on the internet and just trying to find games like that. So I mean at the end of the day, like music's been a part of me my whole life. And yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, nah, most definitely. And like even in that sense too, like you talked about like how like you got into like producing like from that side bit for a bit too, from the DJing and from like the games like on the computer. But like
Yeah.
how did you like get into like rapping for a bit, and what inspired you to rap and to produce like in that sense?
Okay, so I mean in high school, right? I know a lot of hood dudes in high school, and they used to tell me like, "Yo, Kato, your beats are too futuristic. Like, I don't know how to hop on this. Like, I'm trying to speak about my street, my life, and whatever." And it's like my beats was just not like what's it called hidden for them in that sense, right? So it's like I kind of got frustrated about like even just hearing that all the time. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just try my own thing. Let me just do my own rapping on my own beats. And that's how that kind of like transpired. But I've always made music. I've always freestyled. Like I never thought like I was always like an artist, rapper, but it's like I never thought like wow, like people actually tune into my stuff. You know what I mean? So that's when I started taking it seriously. But the story, like people was not hopping on my beats. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it myself.
Yeah, nah, most definitely. And I know that you talked about like, with the Saint like Lucian like background and all that. So with the Saint Lucian like background, was it ever like revolved around like your music like in that sense too, like when making music or when like rapping in that sense?
No, no, actually never was to be honest with you. I mean, my background, I go to Lucia, we vibe out, but it's never been like I gotta make music like this because you know what I mean? And just like I'm just being myself type thing.
Yeah, nah, no doubt. I know like in a previous interview, like I know you talked about like being like, like listening to like a lot of like A-rap like music in like high school with the beat tapes and like the songs as well too. But what other artists or genres were you mainly like influenced by, and which artists would you like to work with that you haven't like worked with before in that sense?
Honestly, man, like when it comes to music, I'm just like all ears. Like I listen to everybody, I listen to everything. Like just a month ago, Carlos would tell you, man, we went to a concert, Tame Impala, like indie music, you feel me? So just like I'm about whatever sonically sounds good and whatever like sounds different in my ear that I could like possibly get inspired by and like just make a different because my music is always like different outside of the box. So I like to listen to different things and just be outside of the box with it. But that's really what it is. I don't really have like one person that I listen to and I'm like, okay, I'm inspired by that. You know what I mean? And when it comes to like working with people like who I want to work with, man, I'm open to work with anybody. I'm not like one of those, I'm not working with you because you don't kind of whatever this that. Like I'm gonna work with everybody because if the relationship is genuine type of thing, you know what I mean? But like my dream collaboration, obviously the boy, because Toronto, Canada, they represent. So that's really what it is.
Yeah, no doubt. Yogi, the producer, like who also worked with I think Savannah Ray for a bit, is from the same small town as you, like in St. Lucia.
Yeah. He is. It's crazy. Like his mother taught my mother like music back in St. Lucia. So it's like a smaller kind of thing. So when we linked up and I told him that it's like it's already family from the start type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like have you managed to like work with like Yogi on like a lot of music by any chance? And what was like working for him in that sense?
Yeah, I mean Yogi, we have one on my tape. On I'm Mad, he did Yellow Bandana. I don't know if you heard that joint, but it's like one of my softer joints. He did the melody on that one. It's like it was just like a blessing to work with him because it's like, yo, we come from the same area. It was like a full circle moment in terms of like, wow, like we actually got a song together that actually came out. So that's a blessing right there.
Yeah, nah, no doubt, man. I want to get back into the whole like creating process a bit like sorry about that. I want to get back into the creative process for a bit. So, what is your creative process when beat making or like making music, and what would a day in like producing a beat or like making music be like for you?
But yo, for me, honestly, I actually been inspired, man. Like I live life. I gotta live life. I gotta see different things. You know what I'm trying to say? I could pump out a bunch of beats, just like making a bunch of beats. But honestly, in my ear, I just feel like sometimes it just doesn't sound the best. So like, for me to make the best quality music, I gotta see life. I gotta experience life. I gotta have moments to talk about. I have to have things that I seen that kind of like just changes my view on life, and then I could just put it on a beat because I see music as like a journal for me. You know what I mean? So that's really what it is. Like, that's my inspiration. That's where it comes from. I just living life.
Yeah, most definitely. And like I think you're also like well known for like probably like one of the most like well-known beat tags all over Toronto. Like this is a Kato beat. I don't know if I could like find like the actual tag on YouTube if people like post it or anything like that, but I don't even know if you have like the tag line like right now with you, but tell me like more about like how that was created and like the inspiration for that at that time.
Funny story, man. So like I was making beats like what 2015, and like I had a tag already though, but like I think it was just like Kato, and it was my voice. Like I did it myself, and I put like a little simple echo on it, and it was like Kato, Kato, Kato. And after one of my homeboys heard the beat tag, and he's like, "Yo, that shit is ass." And I'm like, shit. So I'm like, so make me something then. He's like, all right. So he came back and he gave me like 3 tags. And then he gave me this is a Kato beat. And then he gave me like 2 other ones. And I felt as if like the one that started out the most and the one I'm gonna use on all my beats was this is a Kato beat. And that's how it kind of transpired. But that's how it really came about. Like you just said my tag was super shit. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like so that made me something then. And that's how that really came.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually also wanted to find out like on who the person was that was like saying like the name at that time.
Sorry. Shout out the producer who did it. Shout out Paulo Toronto, man. That's my homie. Sorry to cut you out, man. I just want to shout him all the time. Paulo Toronto, you made a tag for me that stays for life. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you for that one.
Yeah. Now, regardless, shout out to him too. Though either way, Yeah, man. Yo, just getting back into the whole like Yogi situation. What were some things that you like learned from him? That you've used like within like your career right now as a producer?
I feel as if Yogi has a great work ethic, you know what I mean? Like, and everything when it comes to sounds, the sound design, it just like it's always on point. So it's like, learning from him, it's just like, yo, I want to be the best that I could be as well too. Whenever he cops on the beat, whenever he does his thing on music, it always sounds like 10 out of 10. You know what I'm trying to say? And it's like I want to be the same. I want to pump out the same quality. Every time he send me a pack of melodies or beat, it's always been amazing. So it's just like that's really what I learned. Like if I'm gonna continue working on music, let's just keep the quality going.
Yeah. Most definitely, man. And I've been like listening to like the music for a bit too. I think like one of the tracks that even like caught my attention was like the Birkin music video. And like I saw
Yeah.
like like a post on the Toronto rappers page, and just seeing like the
Mhm.
video, like that was like an interesting video that not a lot of people like really do as much like anymore. Like it's
Yeah, yeah,
pretty creative in that sense too. And then it led on to me like listening to all this like other music, such as like the I'm Mad tape, the Facelift tape, and now like Rebirth. So even just speaking about those projects, what were the creative processes like for them, and what inspired you to make them in that sense?
like I said, it's life, but it's also wanting to make the best quality music, but also not sound like Toronto. Like I'm just always trying to be myself, you know what I'm trying to say? So like when it comes to those, we had projects, I have like 200 songs. Me and management go back and forth, like that should be on the tape, that shouldn't be on the tape, that should be on the tape. We're gonna say that for another tape, you know what I'm trying to say? So it's just making the best quality music and just staying true to myself. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not nobody else. I'm Kato, and I just want to make music that feels like me, and that speaks gently to the people. Like you felt good when you heard Birkin, and every time you hear like a Kato song, you just feel good about it. And that's what I kind of like. I just love to do. I love to get that feeling out to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, most definitely. I want to get back into the whole like Birkin like music video as talked about before. Like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like it kind of felt like more of like a BET like uncut, or like an old like BET like music video for a bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So like tell me like more about that music video in that sense, and like what was like the process and inspiration like for that music video in that sense.
We just wanted something original, but also felt like something you've seen before. You know what I'm trying to say? That's why when you've seen the video, you can see like even in the beginning the way it starts, and you can see like how it was credited. Like it gave you like that old like BT feel. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, Elliot, shout out Elliot Muscat. He wrote the treatment. He delivered, and the video looks amazing. I feel like and everyone that really looks at it, you can see like we took our time, and it's a well thought out video, and it's just like a blessing to see it all come to life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, no doubt, man. And just getting back into like everything else, like right now, like how we talked about like how touring like gained like almost like 800,000 streams on Spotify, and right
Yeah,
now is at like at least 5.5 like million like right now with you and Jazz. So
yeah.
just like talking about those like two songs specifically, tell me more about the impact of those songs and how it like changed everything for you in a way, like as well, like what was like the creative process and the inspiration on like making those tracks.
I mean, yeah, those songs really changed a lot, to be honest. Like prior to, like I used to go to like little events and just try to wear the loudest kind of material, like clothing, to be seen, and attention. Like just try to dye my hair, different things to get attention. Because like you coming up, you don't really know nobody, right? But just like shout out to management. They connected the dots on that, and it was a blessing after that. Like that song, a lot of people was tuning in. They're like, "Yo, who's Kato?" Like kid from Junction, and now like my name's on a billboard downtown. It's like, wow, like we gotta tune in and see what's going on with Kato. You know what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
that definitely impacted, and that definitely made like a jump start in the career of me rapping. And what inspired those songs? Just like I want to make an anthem. I wanted to make something special for the city. Like you see where right now, you don't have to know the song, but like that song comes on and you hear right now.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just like subconsciously you're singing the lyrics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to
Nah.
know the whole song, but it's like, oh, right now, and after like you stocking the groceries that I
Yeah.
know for, and you hear right now in your head type shit, you singing it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like this anthem shit like that. That's how I try to make,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm just happy that even that got the
Yeah.
recognition that it deserved, and that's really what it
Yeah.
is.
No doubt. I do feel like even like with a song like right now too, like I feel like it'll always be timeless in terms of like the sound and just like
Yeah,
the sonic energy that it has for Toronto right now. Like you could go to like a nightclub like in the city, and like they'll still like play that song like at an apartment like
exactly.
200, at like
Yeah.
at a club on like King West. Like that song will
Mhm.
still get played like either way too, because the whole like niche and sound too. So like even like when we
100%.
talk about that song too, like I feel like it's not only like legendary in terms of the production and even like the lyricism, but like even with like how it translates to Toronto, like in how it is seen like in a mosaic like form, like how people can enjoy it, without, you know, thinking like as like too much about it. Like you can just enjoy it like in this
Exactly.
great mindset, like at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a blessing. That song really is amazing. It's like, yo, to this day, people like one of my homegirls, she work at Foot Locker, and she's like, yo, this is like 2 weeks ago. She's like, yo, I just heard right now on like the speaker at my work. It's like to this day, 3 years ago, people are still playing it, and it still has that kind of same effect from like the first time it dropped. It's just amazing to even have that effect. You know what I mean?
It was also
Yeah.
used as the playoff theme song on like TSN like in 2018. How did you feel like when that song was used for the playoff theme in that sense,
I mean, shit, man. Like, yo, coming from Toronto, man, going to the stadium, me and management, we went to the stadium, and to hear the song in the arena, man, and it's like, even when I'm chilling at home, and it's like someone says, yo, I went to the Raptors game and I heard your song in the stadium, bro, and you heard this is the KTOE in the stadium, like, it's a blessing, bro. It's just like, it's just a humbling moment to me, just to like, coming from like really not knowing nobody to like, wow, like the songs in the stadiums, in the arena, people are hearing it. It's just a blessing right there.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Getting back into your musical like collaborations for a bit too, you've worked with Jazz, Bugs,
Yeah.
Houdini, rest in peace, Chromas, Drip Six, and like Young Tory, like with a lot of like songs. So like how did you manage to work with the likes of those people, and like what was like working with them like in terms of like creating music with them and like producing?
Yeah, I feel as if everybody's special in their own way, man. When it comes to working with everybody, it just the relationship is genuine, so that's why we always pump out something magical. But when it comes to like linking up with Jazz, it was through management. Like just like at the time, man, I was not sending nobody my music. I was very stingy. I was like, yo, I don't want no one to steal my songs. I was like all up in my head, but the management kind of freed up that thought of like, yo, let's send records, what I'm trying to say, let's get your name out there. And I was just open to it, and then, thankfully we got two with Jazz on the album, and that was through management. And it's like from there it's just like, going outside, just being social, and just, genuinely connecting with people. That's what it came about. Like, they seen Kato everywhere after the whole Jazz thing. And it's like after that, genuinely connecting with people and just making good music. That's really what it is. And there's no like one person that I favorite working with. Everybody's different. Everybody inspires me when I work with them too as well too. So I just like it's just a great moment when we link up and we make music.
Yeah. No doubt,
Yeah.
man. And recently you just worked with Bugs on like one song, which is on like his new project lately. So like how was it like working with him like on that like song too? And like, you know, I don't know if you like I don't know, sorry, just to rephrase, like how is he like right now, like in that sense too? Like you guys still have like a connection like in working, right?
Yeah. I mean, shit, man. I don't want to say this is bad news, but free my dog Bugs. You know what I'm trying to say? Free my dog Bugs. But he's a super genuine dude, man. I really love that guy. He's always showing love, even from the beginning. Like, he's always trying to be like, yo, Kato, you call me on FaceTime like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yo, Kato, I got a plan. Yo, we gotta do this. Yo, Kato, I gotta do that. Yo, Kato, we gotta yo, I'm gonna take you on tour with me, yo. You know what I'm trying to say? So he's always trying to help me out in terms of like even getting my brand out there to the world. But super genuine dude. And the way it came about, man, that song was an old song. Can't lie to you, it's a super old song. The one thing about Bugs is that he's a perfectionist, right? He just take his time. And a lot of the songs that me and him have are older songs, but like he's very good at like just like finding the right time to drop a song. So it's just like that's the one thing I respect about him. He's always like very perfectionist, and just when the time is right, we gonna drop it right. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's how that
Yeah.
song came about, and that's really what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So like with the gear that you use for your production, tell me more about that for your like for production, like that you use like for production and to make music also. Like what do you use?
I mean, I use FL Studio. Like, I'm like one of those rare dudes who just like cook up everything on FL Studio, record on FL Studio, and I send to an engineer to mix and master. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I use Fruit Loops to cook up all my stuff. Everything that I ever did is Fruit Loops. You know, and a lot of the old songs you see right now, all those type of things are recorded on $100 mic. You feel me? Like it's just like you just gotta know what the hell you're doing, and that's really what it is.
Yeah, nah, most definitely. And also, you also had like a partnership with like Nando's like at the time to promote your I'm Mad project on their bottled like peri peri sauce. Like I saw it like like in the Drew York vlog when you guys were in the
Yeah,
studio. So tell
yeah.
me more about that and how was it like getting a big like partnership with them at the time?
That was super dope. Like, you know, even upcoming, and it's like, wow, like you look at that Nando sauce and you see Kato, I'm mad on the Nando sauce. It's like, wow, this is like a eye opener. Like, wow, like we really doing it. But you know, management came through. Shout out Carlos. He's like, yo, I got you locked in on that Nando sauce. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, went to the party and I seen it for the first time. And I'm like, this is actually a blessing right here. But that's how I really came about it. Just like, yo, the music is good, the quality of the music's good, and they support it. And ever since that, it's a blessing.
Yeah, nah, most
Yeah,
definitely, man. And like also as well too, I know like with production, like there's a thing called like rapper like type beats. In that sense too, like when you go on YouTube, you'll type like YB and Amir type beat, like Lil Durk type beat, like.
yeah.
And in your opinion, in that sense too, like how do you feel about those like rapper type beats? And if producers who like make those beats like diminish like the artistry like make when making those types of production in that sense?
I mean, honestly, man, I feel as if get it how you live. If you're an artist that like type beats and you feel comfortable making type beat music, if you want to call it type beat music, I mean, by all means, go. If that's what you feel as if the right for you and how you feel as an artist, and you make music like that, then I mean, by all means, feel free to use it. You know, like honestly, me, I come from like I just want to be original, right? So that's why I make my own beats. I try to step outside the box and just be like myself. But if you feel yourself on a type beat, go ahead, man. There's nothing against it. Music has no rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I just have
Yeah.
these last two questions right now, but in
Word up.
2022 right now, how do you feel about the Toronto like music scene like right now? Do you feel like it's doing well like as it is, or do you feel that there should be some changes on like how the scene should go to?
I mean, I feel that the music is super dope. You know what I'm trying to say? Shout out to everybody doing their thing in the city. You know what I'm trying to say? Shout out the pressers. Shout out the everybody, Smiley. Shout out everybody just making a way for the city. Like shout out all the big guys too. Drake, Tory Lanez, Jesse Reyes, Daniel Caesar, Justin Bieber. Everybody, the Weekend, Nav. Everybody that just like shining light to the city. It's a blessing. You know what I'm trying to say? And I mean, yo, the only thing I would say is just like, yo, there's a lot of creators in the world, in Canada, you know what I'm trying to say? And hopefully we could shine more light to females in the city doing some stuff, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of female rappers in the city going hard, you know what I'm trying to say? And there's a lot
Yeah,
of dudes out there that haven't really kind of even like, primarily when we think of Toronto and the states, see as they say like, yo, hood rapper, hood Canadian rapper, and they think that's like all we got, And people from the hood, they're rapping with their life. It's amazing. We love the music, but there's a lot of Canadian artists doing their thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So if we could shine more light to just even other people that haven't lived that life, but is still making great music and females, man, I think that'd be a dope look for the city. You know what I'm trying to say? But shout out everybody doing their thing. Shout out everyone living life, experiencing and putting it on the music. We love it. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah. Just getting back
Yeah.
into the whole like female rapper thing in Toronto, who are you like tuning into like right now in terms of like female rap and just like who's like making like some dope songs right now that you'd recommend in that sense?
I mean, honestly, I tune into a lot of music, man. Mel's artist, what was J. Carl? She's super dope. She's super fresh. Like, yeah, I just shared her post like 3 days ago out of love. I'm like, yo, this song is amazing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Nah.
Female artists, even like like just even Lady SB, she go hard. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't know if you
No.
know Lady SB. Like we grew up together type thing. She goes super hard. Charmaine is just like I'm trying to say. I think Tia Banks. I'm seeing a few people from the city females that are going extremely hard. You know what I'm trying to say. Sounds by Kiana. I don't want to like just like mention people and forget people, you know what I'm trying to say. But like at the top of the head, these are the ones that like I've been tuning into, I've been doing sessions with, you know what I'm trying to say. So these people go super hard.
Yeah, nah, most
And even
definitely.
Chroma's, she's doing her thing, still the music
Yeah,
too. You know, she does her
yeah.
thing. So like, you know.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, there's like a lot of like dope female talent out like right now. Like Double M, like she has like a song on like Six Buzz, like on that tape recently. Very hard in
Bro,
that sense. Tasha Mack, she's good with like the bars, with the energy, with the raw lyricism. You have like
yeah.
Goldie London, like Lola Buns, like they're still like doing their thing right now. Hawaii Mighty, like yeah,
Woodland is hard. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
seeing her one time. We did a show. I did a show one time and she performed before me. She's fire. She's fire.
Yeah, nah, most definitely. And who else? I think I know like Lady SB like goes well too. I think yeah, Tia Banks, like yeah, she's like going hard regardless. Taylor's
Mhm.
also going crazy too, like coming in different, like it's very like amazing that on like how
Yeah,
like that sound is like on that song too. Like Killer T's dope. Like there's a lot of like dope females like out right now, and I
yeah.
love to see it.
No,
Yeah.
listen, man. We in the works. I don't know how much I can say, but yo, female artists is on the come up, and Kato wants to work. You feel me? That's all I'm gonna say.
No,
Yeah.
no doubt, man. So what's next for you in terms of like any other music or creative projects and so forth? And do you have any final words you would like to say for any creative or any person out there pursuing their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, for me, what's next is just, I mean, just stay healthy, man. I can't even lie, you stay healthy, be great, make genuine music. You know what I'm trying to say, and just keep on pushing the dial forward. Like, if we over here, I want to be here. I want to be here. I just want to keep on going up and up and up and up and up and up. You know what I'm trying to say? There's no really
Yeah,
solidified. Like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't want to like make too many goals. I just want to just be great. Every day I wake up, I just keep on pushing the axe at it. You know what I'm trying to say? And for anybody doing this that wants to come up and just be great, I just continue saying, start and just keep on trying, man. Never give up. It sounds super cliche. It sounds super like basic, but at the end of the day, man, if you don't start, if you don't try, if you don't give it all your all consistency, I mean, you're never gonna get it. Like anything is possible in the world, man. I started doing this knowing nobody knew who Kato was, and every day I try to stay consistent, make a song a day, go outside, be known, show my face, and it's like you do those type of things. There's no reason why you can't do it. And not to say I'm the biggest, but I'm still coming up. But I'm just trying to say, like, on the come up, you gotta do the small things, like stay consistent and just never give up. That's really what it is.